morning, good morning. Now, there are three words I can use to describe this morning. I can say it's wonderful, it's amazing, it's fantastic.
Oh my God.
And, well, hey.
You had to start the morning with that.
Life is just beautiful.
Yes,
you know?
indeed. Now,
It is.
the popular saying is that when life gives you lemons.
Yeah. You make lemonade, right?
Yes, indeed. Make some lemonade. Make the best of every situation. So we're trying to motivate you this morning. Just get you going, if you know what I mean.
We know it's Thursday. Don't worry, the week is almost up. Toughen up and let's power through it. You know, there's always something great at the end. It's called a weekend.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, so we're going to be making some lemonade together this morning.
Yes, sir.
And it's going to be 3 hours of breathtaking experience that you don't want to miss. My name is Yomi Ope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinso. Now, hey, we're live streaming on tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Please send in your comments with all the social media platforms need that hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Yes, indeed. Now, of course, you can also watch us on your mobile device by downloading our app on the Apple iStore and, of course, the Google Play Store as well. It's going to be a special day. I look forward to performances, a bunch of other things.
So many
special
other
guests
things.
that are going to be joining us.
Special art as well. You know what? Let's tell them all about it.
Yeah, now first we have a performance for you. Obioma Egwono, MC Robert, also known as Primal. And he's going to be doing and for another musical performance, we have Afrobeat artist and music producer Idowu Samuel for a performance.
And for book chat today, the author of the book Cascading Water, Titoluwa Olumideko. We have her coming in to share her vision behind this book.
Yeah. And an art display, you know it's for Thursdays, right? And we have sculptor Collins Akborode, who he is, runs something called, he's a spoon artist.
Yes.
Spoon artist. And
He
quite
uses
interesting.
the spoon sculptor.
Oh, right. Okay. Spoon sculptor.
Makes
And, you know,
beautiful
some
pieces.
people are just absolutely talented. Look at what he's done.
Yeah.
And he's going to be talking to us today.
And finally, our guest for today is actress, singer, voiceover artist, and comedian
All-rounder.
Helen Paul. Can't wait to see her. We're going to be having a chat with her too.
All you know to do in your life is...
I believe it's Dr. Helen Paul now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She's got
because
a
of PhD.
PhD.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be asking her about that.
Yeah, a comedian with a PhD. Who would have ever thought?
PhD.
Yeah.
You know, I actually never thought that I would consider getting more degrees until recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm really, really going to take it very seriously in the next year.
Okay, so for me, degrees are pali, like paper.
Right.
You know, for me, the knowledge that you gain from
It's everything. Because you can't get one without getting the other. Do you understand?
can,
No, you
actually.
can't. Yeah, well, except you do a lot of research, which requires online, you know, a lot of reading online. But then there's that. Okay, so it's because in this part of the world, qualifications comes with pedigree, or it comes with a certain prestige.
Right,
You know,
right.
so you're
So
like,
once you
oh
have a
yeah,
PhD, everybody
PhDs
like-
are, expect that. Unfortunately, there are so many people with PhDs that are jobless. But, well, it comes with a certain, but it's not because of that. It's because, you know, there's that exposure that, you know, reading gives you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in a structured way. I actually kind of believe it. Although in my own world, PR world, media world, experience is more important than degrees. Even though a structured learning, you can't really beat it because it gives you enforces discipline. You're there. If it's a weekend program, you know, there's just that kind of discipline that forces you to read. So that I think that one.
So there are so many things you can learn. Even for those that are watching now that are wondering how, you know, maybe they can't even afford it. Now there are actually online schools that give you courses. They actually make you disciplined. They tell you this is how many hours you're going to be doing this. We're going to give you this number of assignments, and the only thing you're really paying for is the certificate. You know, that's if you want it.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those courses as well.
I've been thinking about
Someone
it
said the moment you stop learning, that's when you start dying. So whichever way, learning is extremely
Very
very
key,
important.
yeah.
You have to learn and live and learn to live.
To live.
Yeah, so get that degree, ladies and gentlemen.
We have to head over to the news.
Dr. Theophilus is on stand.
All right, good morning and welcome to the news. Security was one of the main talking points at the first meeting of the Nigeria Governors Forum after the general election. It was the first meeting that the governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, presided as the new chairman of the Governors Forum since he was unanimously chosen to lead the pack of governors. More than 20 state governors were in attendance. Son of the former Minister of Health, Adedayo Adewale, has been freed and reunited with his family. In a press release signed by his father, the former minister thanked security agencies and some state governors for the part they played in the freedom. He was abducted on Tuesday from his farm in Oyo State. In this very short clip, Dayo Adewale shows appreciation for all the efforts to get him released.
I'd like to thank all Nigerians for their support and their prayers while I was away, and I'm glad to be back.
The death of 29-year-old Aminu Shehu of the Osun State Polytechnic, Ire, who slumped shortly after his examinations, has prompted the management of the institution to declare that it will not open for academic activities until the medical center is fixed. Our correspondent in Osun State, Rafiu Hamid, reports.
On the 31st of June 2018, Aminu Shehu, a 29-year-old HND1 student of applied chemistry of the Osun State Polytechnic, Ire, slumped shortly after his examination. According to findings, he was quickly rushed to the institution's medical center, but was referred to another hospital outside the Polytechnic. Aminu Shehu eventually died while being taken to the hospital. TVC News went to Obagun, hometown of the deceased student, where we met his brother.
I learned they took him to their medical center, but I was told they were already closed for the day. Why would that happen? That they will close when students have not gone home.
His death led to a protest the following day by his colleagues, which resulted into destruction and looting of this medical center. This is the medical center vandalized shortly after the death of Aminu Shehu on the 1st of June this year. Virtually every item in this medical center, including power generating set and medical files, were burnt. Other valuables were also carted away by the hoodlums. Now, the institution has suspended academic activities and the student union government of the Polytechnic till further notice.
There is no justification for our own student union, for the suspension of our own student union. We want our student union to stand and should still remain.
The student union activities have been banned in the school. We don't recognize anybody called student union in the Polytechnic for now.
The institution says the medical center was recently equipped and was working perfectly before it was vandalized, contrary to the claims of the students.
The first thing I did was to shut down the main gates to impede entrance so that students do not gain entrance into the institution. Of course, students had gathered around the gates. While I was addressing the students in front of the main gate, information came to us that medical center had been vandalized. Of course, in our own side, we condemn the vandalization.
Of course, those things that were vandalized have to be paid for. We have to put them in stock. We cannot operate an institution without an health center. You were there, you could imagine the level, the degree of vandalization that happened there. Not until those things are put in place, you cannot resume.
Management of the institution has set up a 9-man committee to investigate the cause of the incident, and the committee members are currently meeting in this building. Until they submit their recommendations, the students will have to remain in their various homes. Rafiu Hamid, TVC News, Ire, Osun State.
2 persons have been killed and houses destroyed in Shagari local government area of Sokoto State following a windstorm. Director General of the Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Haliru, says 7 villages were affected by the disaster. Property worth millions of naira were also destroyed and several persons are now displaced.
There was a windstorm and this happens in the midnight. So this caused a lot of problems to the villagers. 7 villages were affected seriously, and almost a total of, based on our assessment, a total of 1,030 households were affected. Most of the houses were roof off, some of them dismantled, some of them kind of even resulting to the death of 2 persons as a result of the windstorm disaster. It struck 7 villages and it was so disastrous in fact.
People lost their lives. The Muhammadu Kaura and Hawa'u all in Kaura, all in Kaura village.
Well, that's it on the news update for this hour. Weather update is up next.
We have the headlines in the daily, starting with the Punch newspaper this morning. It says, Boko Haram resurgence, PDP, Serap, CDHR attack Buratai for blaming soldiers. Sack COAS, other service chiefs, opposition. Yakazai tells Buhari. It also says here, we collected 200 million naira ransom in 6 months, says suspected kidnapper. Visa-seeking banker accuses SARS of extortion, detention in Lagos. Ex-microfinance bank MD arraigned for fraud. Otedola sells shares of Forte Oil. 3 arrested as abducted ex-minister's son regains freedom. You have no right to license preachers, court tells Kaduna government. It also says here, economy still fragile. MAN tells Buhari. Nigeria trapped in low growth path, says Moody's. Federal government to borrow $2.7 billion foreign loan this year, says the DMO. And finally, Obasanjo should tell Nigerians why he shunned Democracy Day, according to the presidency. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Let's check out the Vanguard. Kidnappers on rampage. Wow. This is a special story on page 5. Hunters aid police, military as ex-minister Adewole's abducted son regains freedom. A passenger bus hijacked along East-West Road in Rivers, 14 abducted. And Zamfara, APC Global candidate's brother kidnapped by bandits freed. Bring perpetrators of Taraba killings to book, CAN tells security chiefs. Buhari orders security agencies to end Taraba violence. Up here we have a number of other stories. We may register 200 political parties for 2023 elections. INEC cries out. And over here we have 10 of 169 companies control 77.2% stock market capitalization. And down here we have a number of stories. Thugs invade hotel, beat up Oshomole's brother, other lawmakers elect. And no new case of Ebola virus in Nigeria. That's the story on page 13. And finally, on page 39, mayhem in Ajah or Jota. 1 killed, scores injured as police arrest 6. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
The Guardian newspaper has this headline. It says, court nullifies Kaduna's bill to regulate pastors. It's El Rufai's excesses being exposed, it says. We will appeal verdict, says state government. Delivering judgment late is no issue, lawyers argue. Buhari orders security agents to end Taraba attacks. Navy destroys 70 illegal refineries, arrests 38 suspects, seizes tankers. I won't lead a rubber stamp parliament, says Lawan. There's a story on page 8 here. It says how herbalist defrauded Korean national of 30 million naira by a witness. Ex-minister Adewole's son regains freedom 24 hours after abduction. INEC commissioners differ on ways to improve nation's electoral process. And finally, Don't panic, we're Ebola-free. Federal government assures Nigerians. Lagos suspect tests negative, discharged. Agency says country better prepared than in 2014 and issues advice on prevention and spread of disease. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, let's check out the Daily Sun. APC chiefs fight dirty. North Central Deputy Chair attacks Shuaibu Oyegun over Oshomole. Bury your head in shame, ex-national chairman fires back. Insecurity, Southeast Governors IGP meet. That's a story on page 40. And on page 39, no Ebola outbreak in Nigeria, says federal government. Page 6 has a story, herdsmen's attack. Middle Belt Forum blows hot. Vows to resist alleged plan to annex region's land. And we have another story here. June 12, explain your absence. Presidency tells Obasanjo, says ex-president duly invited. NNPC to resume oil search in Lake Chad Basin. Wow. I wonder who's going to go there. That's what we have on the cover of the Daily Sun.
The Nation newspaper is next. It says, Southwest governors get wake-up call on security. Buhari says end violence in Taraba. Police insist Nigeria is safe. Wow. Okay, so it says here, Navy arrests 19, recovers 5 boats, 168 drums of AGO. It also says 2 remanded. No Ebola case in Nigeria, says government. Insurers need $725 million to recapitalize. Kola Abiola got it wrong on Tinubu, it says. And state chairman restate support for Oshomole. NCC reports NCAA to ONSA. A lot of letters there. Over a threat to demolish telecoms towers. And Saudi Crown Prince culpable in Khashoggi's murder, it says. Yep. Then there's a special story here inside. Injected to blindness. Harrowing tale of 10 eye center patients. Now that will be an interesting read. That's what we have on the cover of The Nation.
Yeah, it looks about like all that we can take for now on the newspaper headlines. Many stories.
Quite a few.
Quite a few stories, most of them having to do with security situation in the various states.
Sorry, Yomi, I've always wondered about this. When they parade the suspects, they put the arms right in front of them. I don't know if I've watched too many movies.
Yeah, it's a bit risky,
feels,
but
yeah.
the bullets usually would have been removed and all of that. So and they're handcuffed. The suspects are handcuffed.
Of course. All right. I think I've just watched too many movies.
Yeah.
It's about time to take a break, and we'll be back with the traffic situation in Lagos. Welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and we're here to make sure that you have a smooth drive or ride to wherever you need to be today. Now, it's all about traffic in Lagos these days, and the situation can be dire, but that's why we're here. Note that you can always share and be part of this segment. Use our social media handles and tell us what the current situation is wherever you are. You can actually take a picture or a little short video. Send the video in to us with our hashtag, but just make sure you're not behind the wheel when you're doing that, please. No taking pictures while you're driving. Okay, let's see what the roads are like at this hour. If, for instance, you are heading from the Ojota area of Lagos, heading towards the island, a CMS bus stop, you have actually not that long of a journey as of right now. If you decide to pass through Echo Bridge, which is passing through Western Avenue, it's actually smooth sailing right now. Not many hot spots. Most of the bus stops are slow moving, but you don't get much tension until you actually get to Akpogbon area itself. That's the only place that there's major traffic, and then about 6 minutes of traffic heading into CMS. But if you're going further, heading into Victoria Island, then you probably have a little more time to spend on the road. But all in all, if you pass through Echo Bridge, you'll be at your destination in 50 minutes. If you decide to take the Third Mainland Bridge, apparently it's not that bad this morning. When I say not that bad, for some people 1 hour, 8 minutes is bad. But really 1 hour, 8 minutes on Third Mainland Bridge is not that bad when you think about it in the morning. But it might be due to the sanitation exercise that happens on Thursdays. So that means that there's a ready, set, go at 10 a.m., meaning that the traffic might build up towards then. So you might need to get out of the house right now. The team is in the kitchen, and I know that they're scouring the internet to find out if there are any other updates from
We're more like the gang, like MM says.
the gang.
The gang, the crew.
And you put weapons in front now, say you call yourself gang. As it is said.
All right, we have, I've got a tweet here from on the Traffic Butter page. Now this was 1 minute ago, actually, just 1 minute ago. Stadium Bridge, inward barracks blocked. So the bridge is blocked. 2 trailers are blocking the bridge. Please take under bridge. Traffic is also building up from Alaka.
Wow.
So the Stadium Bridge inwards barracks is blocked. So
That's heading back.
Yes, so heading back. So that's from Lawal Additional 28, and it was retweeted by Traffic Butter. So that is very important. Then finally, I have another tweet here. Okay, just a piece of news, but not really necessary. So, but that's what I have right now.
I have some information about the road or the route heading from Lasu area all the way to Orile. Now, it's going to take you, if you're coming from Lasu area of Lagos, that's Iba area, I believe. Am I right? Yes. It says you're going to spend about 1 hour, 20 minutes on the road. The hot spots are Okokomaiko bus stop. Then also, as always, the Yanoba Road junction is also very, very tight. You're going to spend about 15 minutes there if you're heading that way, heading here from that way. Expect slow-moving traffic all the way to Alakija, all the way through Festac First Gate. Third gate to First Gate is slow-moving. Obviously, from the Trade Fair complex all the way down, it's slow-moving. But you have a little bit of relief once you pass the Festac First Gate and head towards mile 2. And from there, you're going to be a little slow again. I'm not sure what the trailers look like around that area these days. I've not been there in a very long time. But from what we hear, it's still kind of rough roads around there. So please take care. You're going to spend about 1 hour, 20 minutes on the road if you're coming from that area and you're trying to get to Orile area of Lagos. All right, I'm going to be heading into the kitchen in just a bit.
Great.
Right.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Titi.
Well,
Brother.
okay. All right, so what's, okay, so there are a lot of hashtags trending on social media.
Yeah.
And the one that got my attention the most is hashtag Festus Adebayo. I don't know, has anyone caught up on that hashtag?
Oh, yeah. I saw it last night, but I wasn't sure what it was about. Was he hired and then fired? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, so people are asking for his, he was recently listed amongst one of the Senate President's media aides.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is someone that has written articles against the current government, you know. And so it's more of an issue of you've had loyalists who have, you know, been with you from the beginning, who have like party loyalists, and then suddenly you're giving someone who's an anti, anti-government, like he doesn't support your government, this, you know, role when people have been in line waiting. You know, so now they're asking for him to be removed. So that's why the Festus Adebayo guy. Yeah. So that's why the hashtag, Festus Adebayo is trending.
Let me tell you one of the reasons why I admire the late President Yar'Adua. So he read an article in the paper, sort of against him because, you know, at the time they said President Obasanjo imposed him and all of that. So this guy wrote something a little bit against him, not too complimentary, because nobody knew him at the time. He had become president and all of that. So he read it. After reading it, he said, "Get me the phone number of this guy." And then they got the phone number, then he called him, they had a discussion, a little bit of an argument, and then President Yar'Adua hired him as his media aide. It turned out to be Segun Adeniyi, who's now quite popular. So Segun Adeniyi wasn't for him initially, but when they had a discussion, they reasoned together. Then I said, "Okay, you're a sharp guy. Okay, come and join me."
It's amazing because some people are saying, why are you asking for him to be removed? Like, why are you asking for his sack? And some are saying that he should be sacked, that he doesn't deserve the position in any way because
he
he's
never
supposed
supported.
to, exactly, because he never supported, he's never been a supporter of this government.
Is it an issue of, I don't know, why should it be a case of support? Shouldn't it be a case of competence? Right? We've had people come in, and you need to put in people of the opposition. You can't stand and say only people who support you would move the people coming to them. So I feel that whichever way, I personally feel that when you go against the government or not, I personally feel that, look, if the person can do the job, if the person is available to do the job, and if possibly is amongst the best,
well, Mike, there's a reason why people support you politically.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, if you now ignore your guy, imagine if I was running for an office, then all you guys now say, you're me,
and then you now go and pick somebody else.
You're me for senator,
that's
and
one
then
person. That's one person. It doesn't mean that he has his supporters.
Other people,
So that's one person. And I don't have any problem with that, really. If you see somebody of the position who can do this thing, it's about the country, isn't it? That's just me.
I actually think it's more about balance, finding a balance. The truth is, most people have expectations, but if, for instance, my cousin or my person, I know that this person cannot do this job. The person is going to...
No, but that's the standard in Nigeria. You know that this guy can't do it, but you still
hire him. Yeah, but then also there's this issue of control. So some people employ people because they know they can control them. And that anything they say they should do, they will do it. Because they are the ones that put them there. So it depends on the reason why these people were put in these particular positions.
Okay, but I feel like... let me just mention something here, which I saw yesterday that really
got your attention.
Really got to me. Just a series of tweets. I'll just rush over them. Okay, so there's this lady says, "We had not seen in 20 years. God has been kind to me. When I saw him in the hotel lobby, he was looking simple. He wore a faded Ankara. I felt touched. I caught up with him. We exchanged contact details. He called for his car. It looked old. So I thought to drop him off in my brand new Range Rover. I invited him for lunch in my house. He came to my place. I took a loan for the place, and I showed him how. I wanted to help him. I was talking about, opportunities. And at the same time, I wanted to show off how far I'd gone and all that. And well, okay, let me rush up. And it says,
let me summarize.
No, you can't summarize this.
No way. Babe lives in Parkview. Let's state that one first.
The babe lives in Parkview.
So she drives a Range Rover. Yeah. No, let's just give people an idea so that they have an idea of what. So babe is saying that she's actually she basically lives on loans. And then she meets this, elderly man, not looking so, high class, not looking elitist.
Years ago.
Yeah, and then, he's a very humble guy.
He wasn't elderly, they were like colleagues or something.
Yeah, okay.
So we met 20 years ago. And then he goes, so he said, okay, good, nice one. I'll invite you over very soon. And she's like, okay, let me go and see. Now this is the interesting part. They're getting to the estate. We saw the estate, a particular name. We asked for directions to his home. And they spoke the name with deference. Like, there was some respect to that name. It was a lovely, simple, elegant home. Mine was, bigger. I saw cars parked. We entered. It was simply elegant, taste of class. A bell rang. Somebody asked about my MD. He said, "Oh, I know your MD. He's a friend of mine." Now, this guy that she's talking about has a 35% share in the company she works in. And the estate where she came into is named after him.
It's named after him.
Wow.
And she says, so she goes back and like, wow. She says, I learned a lesson today.
But that's story real.
There's something my husband says. There's actually something my husband says. My husband always says that. My husband says that there's humility, that there's humility works like miracles.
So now this particular guy isn't frivolous. He's not like he doesn't show and flash his wealth. And now she is like flashing her wealth that is from loans. And there are a lot of people living right now in Nigeria on loans. It's packaging. They're borrowing clothes.
Perception.
They're not even paying their makeup artists for those selfies that they took.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Titi had to go there.
I had to.
So I say, I'll give you credit on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes. I'll give you credit on Instagram.
So the truth is, perception has become currency.
Yeah.
And it's sad, and it's making some people get depressed.
You know, when I saw this tweet, I could relate with it because, you know, over the, let's say recently, especially last year and this year, I've been in certain gatherings where with billionaires, millionaires, and you'd be amazed at the kind of, I mean, you talk with them like your colleagues, like you're in the same class, like you're in the same, you know, they're so simple. You'd be amazed at the kind of phones they use.
Very simple things.
And they're discussing business ideas that would, you know, maybe
change
that
the
would
world.
change the world. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it happens that way. Like it's not all about I've got
Perception
this,
is everything. One of the twins came to meet me and said, "Mommy, we have over 200 subscribers on YouTube. Mommy, you only have 30." It told me something. It told me that the kids, the young people are growing up to believe that this is more important than other things and education. And well, hopefully I'll be able to sort that out. Oh, are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I think we have to take a break. But anyway, be humble.
Yes, be humble.
Sit down and be humble. Now, you know, Wake Up Nigeria brings you the best music, right? Now, we have Afrobeats artist and music producer Idowu Simon, who currently is studying computer science, believe it or not, at the University of Lagos. And of course, he just recently started a professional musical career. And hopefully we're you know, looking forward to him really, really blowing up. He started in 2016 and he's still going strong. He's also a producer. Yeah. Dude, good to see you, man.
Thank you.
So what's up? What's going on?
Yeah.
Now you're going to be doing a song for us today, Amina. That's what you call it. But I'm curious to know how over this short period of time you were able to really, really learn how to produce. Is it because of your computer science background?
Not really. I would say because of my curiosity.
Your curiosity?
Yeah.
Did somebody train you, or you were just playing around with it? And
I used YouTube.
YouTube.
So I was very familiar with YouTube. So I had the joy for. I wanted to know how to make music. I wanted to know how sounds were crafted. So
So how do you find the time, though? I mean, you're in school doing computer science. I know computer science is a tough subject, and you still say, you know what? I have passion for this and I must do it. So you do it at night.
Even when I'm having exams, I always find the time to make music.
To make music. That's really, really amazing. So most of what you do is Afrobeat, or you're also into other kinds of productions?
I'd say Afrobeat, I do trap, I do hip hop, but not personally. I do it for other people.
For other people?
Yeah.
Right.
But personally, I do Afrobeat.
Very nice. So how do you mix this? Because I know that Afrobeat it's a very complicated system. It's not like, you know, this regular songs like this trap music where you just play a beat and then Afrobeat is a lot of things. You have your percussion instruments, you have your drums, you have your horns, and how do you put all of that together in a song?
Well, you just have to go with the vibe.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy the music you're making. There's no method, there's no sequence you have to follow. You just have to vibe, and you can start with anything. You can start with the percussion, you can start with the chord, you can start with the progression, as long as you like the vibe.
I'm serious, you're mentioning things. I mean, it sounds like you're like a professional, like you've been doing it for 10 or 15 years. No. And, you know, but it's amazing, it's amazing. And you're going to be doing this song for us, Amina, this morning. And let's do it. All right.
My check 1, 2. My check 1, 2, me I know you want to. Me I know you want to. Olanta, African girl, she a put it down on the low. Time on the low, on the low, on the low, boy, time on the low.
Woo! Thank you so much, Philandri, for that wonderful performance this morning. What a nice way to wake us up, right?
On the low, on the low, on the low.
wakey, sleepyheads. Because if you're still in bed, you probably have $1 million under that bed.
Yeah, well.
We're assuming. Yeah, but it's 7 o'clock, right? So.
Yeah, and $1 million under your bed means that I'm not really, rushing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay in bed a few more minutes. But on second thought, it's kind of nice being right there with you.
Yeah.
So, hey.
It's also kind of nice having a TV in front of your bed.
Yeah.
Because for some people it's.
It works.
Anyway, so. 1 hour is gone.
Yes, indeed.
And this hour, we know that there's a lot that is still going to be coming to you. And I mean that you watching us right now, you're going to be having lots of fun. We are the numero uno, the #1 breakfast show in Nigeria.
So, 1 hour down, 2 more to go. My name is Titilayo Onyison.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. We're streaming live right now at tvcontinental.tv and on Facebook. Check us out at TVC Connect. Send in your comments across our social media platforms using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Now, we have an app available for you to download for both Android and iOS. So, hey, get that app as soon as you can on your mobile devices. Watch us from anywhere in the world.
Guess what's going to be happening in the kitchen this morning? Looking forward to it. Now, is in the kitchen and...
well, Chef AY has not arrived yet. But
AY has not arrived yet.
Yeah, so she'll be here.
But if she doesn't, she will be expecting something from you.
It's funny because I just saw a hack, eggs and sausages that I would like to try out on the show. So maybe today might just be the day.
Oh, okay. So,
but hey, AY is going to be here. Don't put me on the spot, Yomi.
Look, we can work something out very quickly right now. Just go out, get the eggs and the sausages and, come up with something.
While is trying to work that out, let's tell you what exactly is happening on the show. We have a book chat coming up. The author of the book, Cascading Water, Titolua Olumideko, is going to be here. A counselor who is going to share her vision behind this book.
Yeah. And Thursdays are for arts. And at art display, we have sculptor Collins Akporode Arts. Arts by Collins, who is known as a spoon artist. And he has some really, really impressive and interesting work.
Then finally for our guest for today is actress, singer, voiceover artist and comedian Helen Paul. Dr. Helen Paul. She'll be joining us for a chat very soon.
Nobody God cannot lift up.
Okay.
Boy.
Helen Paul is going to be in the building.
Yeah.
All right, so I saw a tweet yesterday I think we should talk about because it's quite interesting. So they're in a couple in a relationship. Well, they're not married. So boyfriend says he's 5 years older than babe. So for the first time, they had a meal together. And there were 2 pieces of meat and fish.
Oh, wow.
And because he's older than her, he expects that he should be the first to,
Why is always coming up with all this relationship conflict?
I'm not joking.
Man-woman issues.
Wait.
No, it's funny. It's actually funny.
Because he's older than her.
So he feels that so babe goes ahead to take meat first. The guy looked at her. She did not get it. I might not tell her that this guy is not happy with you. She now went and took the fish. So she was about to take the fish. She hit her hand. Like, come on now. But I'm older than you. I should be.
There's 2 meats.
Okay, so his problem is no way.
Yeah. I just want to cut the fish into 2.
Exactly.
Well, she not actually cut it. I just want to take her own part. Mabasi.
Stop it. And so his problem is he's older than her. And growing up, you never take any meat or fish or whatever if you're eating with your older ones until, they should be the first to take. Wow. And I'm like, oh, that's your problem?
Okay, so there are different ways people have been brought up. And that's why in relationships, you need to really find out about this person. So this lesson that she has learned, if, for instance, she eventually marries this guy, babe, if there's only 1 meat in that pot, you're not eating
She knows now, at least that's the reason why they try. It's a good thing to happen in a relationship, right?
And not the marriage.
There's some people that they have to finish the whole food before you touch the meat.
Yeah.
Then you have to lick the plate and the plate clean. If you touch the meat,
yeah.
Do you understand? So some people, they start with the meat when they're petty plate. That's why they say, now it's now brought out a meme that hustle so that you and your babe will not be dragging
meat.
Who will take meat first or not. Yeah, but I don't know, people brought up different ways. So you see some even people, there's still plenty meat in the food, but they'll still finish the food.
Yeah.
And then they now start on the meat.
But that's food. You're in a relationship. Why should taking of meats, who takes the meat first be an issue.
Haven't you even heard of some people
weird,
that can't
Mike.
even share food?
Meat.
There's some people that,
meat
if
is
for
big,
instance...
meat is problem.
No.
When toothpaste has killed marriage itself, they eat meat. Meat.
But there's some people that can't even stand it. Maybe they're eating French fries or even popcorn, and someone else comes and takes out of the popcorn or the French fries.
That's different. That's someone else.
No, I'm talking about anybody in relationships. They can't stand you even taking a taste of that.
Then why are you in a relationship?
Well, as we're wrapping this up, I just want to say a quick story in relation to this. Okay, so an older gentleman and a young boy were eating from the same plate, right? Okay. And there were 2 pieces of meat inside. And so the older gentleman notices that the boy keeps looking at the meat. So he then dips his hand inside the soup and does this in the boy's eyes. So while the boy was screaming, he then eats both pieces of meat.
No!
So that is a story. And it has a moral to it.
What's the moral of the story?
Respect your elders. Respect your elders.
You see, like,
you know me? I just flinched your eyes just like this.
Kidding?
I actually flinched.
Are you
kidding? Of the soup.
No, that's wickedness.
Yeah, well.
No, that's not a lesson.
But there are some that have sense. They now use some soup and cover the meat. What I did, you just see guys playing football or chess with a bar. They're playing chess. They look at each other. The guy moving. Look, I'm seeing how I'm actually done stuff like that.
That is actually reminds me of secondary school, boarding school. When you're all
guys,
together.
Okay, guys, calm down. Chef AY will make something for us to try.
And there'll be enough meat to go around.
All right, so here with me in the kitchen, of course, is Chef AY.
Hello.
Of AY Sobs. And this morning, she's making something very different. As a matter of fact, when she told me last week that this was what she was going to make on the show today, I was like,
will you be authentic?
Okay.
Will you be authentic? Are you sure you bring the real father, right? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, MM, trust me, I will bring everything original.
Yes, so this morning we are making ofada rice with the proper ofada sauce that goes with it. And on your screen are the ingredients. So AY, let's talk about how we're going to do that.
Okay. The only thing they've missed, because of obviously time constraints, is us boiling our meat. Because it takes forever to get it softened to the level that we like, if you know what I mean.
We're working with assorted meat, yeah?
Yes.
Great.
But most Nigerians will do the hokpomo, shaki, roundabouts and whatnot. To be honest, I couldn't get to the market. So what I did is I always go into my fridge and see what I have that I can mix together. And in this pot here, I don't know if the viewers can see that, we've got a bit of beef, we've got some kwamo, and we've got chicken. So what I do, I make sure I cut my meat into like really tiny portions, so that with every spoon of rice that you have a spoon of meat. No need for big tins.
I like the paparazzi that comes with that.
She always tries to make me seem so extra. I'm not extra.
You are. No, yes, you are. Please. All right. So, of course, our ofada rice is here. And then our crayfish. You know, I never know what to call this fish.
So what is this then?
Exactly, this crayfish, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but this is shrimps.
I don't think they are. I think they're more like dried prawns.
Prawns,
in my opinion. But we call everything crayfish. Big crayfish, orange crayfish,
so just the
small
way
crayfish.
we actually, had to enlighten our viewers on the difference between mackerel, scumbia.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Where's Mike?
And Titus fish last week. We need to also enlighten them on what kind of fish this is. The difference between prawns and shrimps, because they look really alike.
Yes, but I think it's don't quote me, and Google is your friend, but I think the difference would be the fact that shrimps can't go past a certain size.
What about
a shrimp doesn't grow into a prawn.
You think so?
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, we'll find that out and let you know. All right, so here we have dried prawns.
I would say. I've never called it that. I go to Market and say, I want crayfish, big crayfish.
You see, it's the same thing I do. I go to them and say, oh, please. Because you see them, they're always like, the same way.
Which one crayfish you want? They'll ask you that straight away. Yeah,
exactly. We need to do that.
We'll all figure it out together. Google it.
Yeah, of course. And then we have iru, locust beans.
Yes.
And we have our cherry tomatoes.
Which is for garnishing, like I said, yes.
Yeah.
Because this is really spicy. There's not one single tomato in my ofada sauce.
But does anyone add tomatoes?
Yes, you have green tomatoes.
Ah, okay.
I realized that most local people, if you notice here, most of the ofada sauces that you have in parties or like even if it's on road, is never really that spicy. They always have to it has a bit of spice, but it's never really
So you think they infuse tomatoes in it
definitely
to, douse the pepper effect in it? All right, well, we are working with a lot of pepper this morning. You know AY, she likes pepper. She's like the queen of spice. So, and then we have onions in here.
Quite a lot of onions, because I'm not trying to kill MM. I mean, come on. Our twins were expecting, so I have to be afraid of myself. But yeah.
What's the difference between Ofada sauce and ayamase?
Now, this is the thing. Ayamase, I grew up in England. Predominantly like half of my life. So ayamase is what we call in London.
Ofada sauce?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the same thing?
I believe so.
Yeah, because they say ayamase is the one with the green pepper, the one you use the green pepper to make.
Which I think is the original ofada. If you use red pepper, you're not making ofada, you're making palm stew that is fried with locust beans.
Like I told you guys earlier on, this baby's extra. Yeah. We have tatashe in here as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, of course, our pepper. So we're just going to blend all of this up. Yes. And then let's talk about the process so that you can have an idea.
So what I've done is essentially, I couldn't find enough green peppers. Burrito. I really tried. So what I've done is I found the small amount of green peppers, that is to make sure my stew is not red. Okay. And I've also found tatashe that is not necessarily green, but it's not necessarily red. And I've put a lot of onions. I have like almost 3 onion bulbs that's going to go into this just so that I can douse the pepper effect. So please just try and use green peppers if you want something authentic. Make sure you use small green rodos, which is like the chilies, the Scotch bonnets or habaneros, whatever you want to call it, green. Then sweet peppers, make sure they're green.
Okay.
And then you blend it with a lot of onions and a little water. And then what you're trying to achieve is not necessarily a smooth consistency.
It has to be
want a
rough.
rough consistency.
Great.
What I also find is that if you use only rodo, most people would ordinarily boil it down so that the water would evaporate.
Okay.
And some people use a sieve because it's so coarse. It doesn't. The actual pepper doesn't go through the sieve. It's just the water that reduces. So it's your choice. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today.
Well, guys, if you are watching this, I hope you are taking notes.
And I hope you can taste it, because it's not coming to your table. It's here.
Yeah, but you could try it out as well.
Try it out. That's the whole idea.
We have to go on a break now, people. There's so much more on the show. Stay with us.
Stay with us.
Welcome back. Wake Up Nigeria continues now. Bioma Egwonu, MC Robot, also known as Primal, has a degree in economics and a master's in finance. He's right here for a performance, and it might interest you to know that he started his music career in 2016 and has since released the single Teddy Bear, featuring Ice Prince. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm loving this jacket, by the way.
Oh. Thank you.
So, Primal,
yeah.
What exactly is that supposed to represent?
It's actually, the word primal actually means original, means smart, it means intelligent and all of that. And I spiced it up because there's a word, P-R-I-M-A-L.
Yeah.
But I changed it and, added more meaning to it and personalized it.
So, the first thing I heard was about all these degrees, but music, you're still in music.
Definitely, I'm back for the music only.
All right, so music for you all the way?
Yes, but the degree is actually important because I'm a business-minded person, and I believe whatever you're doing, if you actually know how to make
money from it.
Yeah, from it. So it's an ad compared to if you don't know, you just want to do music and you don't even know where your revenue is coming from and all of that. So it's business first, then music.
Sounds like you're someone that's going to make a lot of money.
Definitely.
What's the name of the song you're performing today?
Folake. It's my new single. I dropped it last month. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So we have coming up next, Primal with Folake.
Yes.
Take it away.
Primal today.
Hello, hey y'all. I've already started my conversation with Titolua Olumideko. Now she is an author, writer, counselor, and HR professional. Her drive to see people live free in the best expression of themselves is contagious. And she's here this morning to share her inspiration and thoughts behind the book, Cascading Waters. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
You look very, very beautiful in this particular dress.
Oh,
I'm
thank
loving
you so
it.
much. Thank
I
you.
wish I could take it. I don't think I can fit. But really, regarding your book, first of all, the name It's quite catchy.
Okay.
Cascading Waters. Some authors find the name of a book before they write it, and some find it after they're done.
Right.
So which one was it for you?
Before.
Before you started?
Yes.
Okay, so what was the aim when you decided to put your book out?
Well, funny thing is, I had just one line of story when I was going to start writing. I didn't know that it was going to be the name of the book at the end of the day, like a lot of stories culminating to be one thing. So initially it was just one, and the aim was to free people from their mistakes, basically. So no matter how bad you're falling, you can find a glimmer in the darkness or in the doom and move forward from there.
All right, so this feels, it's a novel.
Yes.
Right? It feels very pacey in the beginning. It starts with a lot of energy. Many novels start slow and then build up the pace, but you decided to start really heavy. Why did you decide to do that?
Well, I think it's my spice. I wanted to, get readers involved from the beginning. So this happens, why did it happen, and on and on. I think, and I've heard from different people, the feedback is that it maintains that tempo almost all through the book, which is a good thing, basically. So I just wanted people to start and understand, because I understand what you're saying. For people that don't read, it may be boring when you are starting, slowly, and then it's not so voluminous. It's a book that everyone reads in maybe, I think, average of 2 hours if you put your mind to it. So, yeah.
So let me read what's at the back. It says here, Cascading Waters, the story of two people who realize the love of God is in unexpected ways. 2 unwanted pregnancies help the 2 major characters in the novel understand the mystery of forgiveness and getting a chance to start again. So there was a lot of potential for the 2 main characters to be judged.
Yes.
I'm just going to put it that way, so that we don't let the cat out of the bag too much. But can we talk a bit about judgment and second chances?
Okay, so the thing about judgment is this. Many people act as judge for other people's issues and advocate for themselves. But the truth is this, we always have to remember that no matter how bad someone is falling, you really don't have the last say. They have the last say. The person that's falling has the last say. So do I want to decide to remain on the ground, or do I want to start again? So basically that's what I was trying to more or less push out. Like, nobody has the right to be judged over another person. You can have an opinion, but that's just your personal perspective or personal view of things. But being you asked for second chances.
Yes, second chances.
Everyone has a chance to start again. There's never, the best of your life can never be in the past. It's always ahead. So even if you succeed, you have the chance to start again, to succeed again. So the thing is, it's 2 ways. You can either look at your success as I've arrived, I'm not going, this is it. But the thing is, it would expire. That feeling, that position, that, where you think you are, it would expire. So you want to also aspire to start again and be humble enough to learn, the dynamics of starting again and building something again, no matter what it is. So it's both ways. And those who judge sometimes forget that they were probably once, in that position, or they have someone that was once in that position that they really love. So if we all, anyway, it all boils down to love. When you love someone, you don't want to judge the person. Or when you love God or love, humanity in general, you don't want to judge anyone and look at the person as, you can't even come back up again. So basically, those are the 2.
I love how vocal you are. There are many writers who can't actually talk about their book with as much passion as you are right now.
Thank you.
But I also want to talk about the topic. Now, it does have, it's at the back there, unwanted pregnancies. Now this issue could be potentially an issue that could depress not only the main character, but then also the reader. And I find it quite risky talking about such a topic, thinking about maybe sales, whether the book is going to resonate with people. Did you ever think about this issue, whether it would depress
at the end of, when it was time to push the book out, yes, I was worried that would there be an acceptance of the book. But sharing the story, I've always been a vocal person, you know, on my social media platforms. I talk about risky topics. Okay. So I'm used to feedback of, oh my God, that's a little too much, or you just said my story. So I usually write because of that one person that will be touched and moved, you know, seeing that I can relate with this person, that means no matter even if I had a baby or I'm pregnant and it wasn't something I planned for, I can find the chance to start again. And beyond unwanted pregnancy, it actually had so many, you know, branches. You're talking about parental honor, loving your child, no matter how the extent of the mistake person makes or the child makes, also getting up again, so many, and then the power of forgiveness. It also talks about that, and power of forgiving yourself, not necessarily forgiving another person.
What I can say is that for such well, I won't say a short book, a not so voluminous book, there is quite a lot of issues that you addressed here. Yes. I know that there's something about a pastor. I didn't get to that part. Something about a pastor in there as well. Yes. And of course, being a father, being a good father. I have to relate this with you and your background now.
Okay.
What aspects of you and your life did you input in the book to make it feel more real?
I grew up in Ibadan, so that's probably the beginning. I sent out the book around the geographical location of Ibadan. Okay. Most of the places I grew up in, Bodija, Akobo, basically places I grew up in. And then also I have a good relationship with my father, and who is flawed. And my mom, I also have a good relationship with her. And then I usually say I was hurt by the church to heal the church, basically. So I always try my best to portray the church in a light like, okay, that's a hospital. So don't judge those that are like the doctors, because it doesn't make them immune to whatever sickness it is.
I have to say a big thank you to you,
Titoluwa
Olumideko, for coming to talk to us about this book. Once again, the name of the book is Cascading Waters. It's definitely one to look out for. We have to take a short recess, and when we get back, we'll see what MM and Chef AY have been up to.
Thank you.
Welcome back. You're on to Wake Up Nigeria. Yes, with me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Ayola of AY Sauce. Yes. And this morning we are making ofada rice with sauce. You can't have ofada rice without its sauce, of course. Yes. And on your screen right there are the ingredients, people. Go through them. Take notes if you have to. And AY. Where we
what am I doing, Abby? Sorry. You know you got this anyway. You have this. Like, I could literally just cook and just tell them, like, I know that you know what you're talking about.
Oh, darling.
I love the fact that you research a lot.
Thank you, darling.
It's the cutest thing about you.
Just stop it. Well, okay, so right now we are boiling our ofada rice.
Yes.
You see that ofada rice, it's lots of work.
And it stinks.
Okay, it doesn't stink. It just has like a really awful smell. So you have to like really wash it, right?
Yes. No. That's why you always have to make sure you get one in a pack. I didn't go and buy the one that I have to take out stones and whatnot, because ofada is actually from sand. So you literally have to be careful, because you have literally the same color of stones in ofada as the color of the sand.
Yes.
Of the rice.
Well, luckily we have the packaged ones
so
now that you can
I'm
get
hoping that it took out all the stones,
stores, so you don't have an issue.
And once you wash that once or twice, no matter what, you're never going to get a white color with your water. Never.
Okay.
The rice itself is that color. It's brown rice.
Yeah. So, and it's very nutritious. But we are not talking about the nutritional benefits of ofada rice today. We are going to be talking about the nutritional benefits of locust beans, people. You'll be amazed at what locust beans can do for you. That's your iru or dawa dawa.
Okay, I never heard that.
Igbo call it dawa dawa.
Okay, dawa dawa. Noted, noted.
So, did you know that locust beans has alcohol in it?
This is like new to me.
Yeah.
But then it makes sense.
Yeah. So when you ferment it, the water extracted could actually cure. It helps to control diabetes, and also reduce your blood sugar level.
But then if you drink the water, do you get a bit of a buzz like alcohol?
Well, did not tell me that.
Because I imagine like it's like palm wine.
Right?
It's normal, actual tapped. But then it ferments and then it becomes alcoholic. So I imagine that's what happens with this. So if they say it's alcoholic, can we drink it? Let's try some.
No, I'm
Want
not
a shot of locust beans?
No, definitely
no
not.
shot?
No.
Okay, sorry.
So now you know, actually. And it also contains tannins that help to, help with you if you have diarrhea.
Okay.
It helps it also kills diarrhea.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, right?
I don't get diarrhea. I eat a lot of locust beans.
And if you're looking to lose weight, locust beans, you're good to go. Yeah, so lose weight.
Some things are working out just without me knowing it.
So you have a fada rice with, its own nutritional benefits, and then you have locust beans. Like, we have a lot of nutritional
things going on here.
Yeah.
And MM just schooled me about something, guys. MM just told me that prawns and crayfish, which is shrimps, are pretty much the same thing. And she mentioned they have 10 legs each. There's no difference. I'm like, no. There's a difference.
No, there is no difference.
There
actually.
is.
Okay, yeah, shrimps are smaller than prawns.
And they can never be a prawn. And a prawn can never be a shrimp.
Yeah, but basically of the same family.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, people. There's so much work going on here in the kitchen. Do not forget, we are making ofada rice with sauce this morning. We have our rice getting ready. We have our pepper, tatashi, onions ready here. We have our prawns, our smoked prawns, crayfish, and our locust beans.
And our meats.
And of course, our salted meat or protein, of course, which will be,
utilized later.
Yeah.
And a trick that I learned just because of you, because I know how extra you can be.
Okay.
The way I used to make my ofada sauce, like in England, to me was very original.
Okay.
And I knew that it tasted good. I came to Nigeria and I saw they do it here and I changed my style. And that irritated me because I was finding it really hard to go back to what I originally learned that I thought was better.
Why did you change it?
Because that's how you evolve as a chef. Like you feel like, okay, you know how to do everything, but then you see somebody else that does it differently and it comes out all right. Like let me try and see, let me be versatile enough. Like you said, there's ayamashi and ofada. So some people use red pepper, some people use green pepper.
Yeah.
I want to know how to do it the other way.
Okay, there's so much going on here in the kitchen, guys, like I told you earlier on. But right now, we have to move over to the garden. They have some interesting arts display for you people. You have to see this, trust me.
Quite an interesting one, of course, like MM said. And this is one that intrigues me. Now, sculpting on its own is quite an interesting part of art. Metal sculpting, that's a much more intricate one. Quite interesting, but then this level of metal sculpting is what I'm interested in knowing more about today. I've got Art by Collins here with me. It's good to have you, Collins. You are welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. So we have these interesting art pieces here. I can see this, I can see this, and I would, in due time, I'll get to show you exactly the full everything here. But just before we go into that, let's talk about your origins in art. You study creative arts.
Yes, I studied arts.
Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm a graduate of sculpture from the School of Art and Design, Auchi Polytechnic.
Oh,
I graduated 2012.
Oh, wonderful. So you specialize in sculpting?
Yeah, I major in sculpting.
I didn't know that you could major in sculpting in
yeah, you know,
Nigeria.
art is there are diverse field of major in arts.
Okay.
But towards before you graduate, you have to find an area of interest where you have to specialize.
Okay.
But
So what other areas of specialization are there?
Basically, you have painting, you have sculpture, you have graphic design.
Okay.
You have ceramics, you have textile. These are the basic areas.
Basic areas.
But you have to find an area
Somewhere
where you have to major. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we're looking at all of the ones you call now. Sculpting looks like the one that would take the most kind of work because, man, this is not easy work, right? This is not.
Right.
Now, you decided to start using, what do you call this type of metal sculpting?
My mediums are tablespoons.
Okay.
Actually,
but you said reusable,
repurposed materials.
Repurposed materials.
Yes.
Right.
There's what we call recycled sculpture or recycled arts.
Okay.
And you have, for me, I consider mine to be more repurposed because most of the materials I use are not trashed materials.
Okay, they're not trash, exactly. So you can't say recycling. It's not something you previously used and you want to throw away. These are things that you can still use in your daily life. Okay, so you use spoons, basically.
Basically,
right? Okay, so how did the inspiration come to start using spoons?
Well, at a point in school, towards my final year, we had this challenging class where we were asked to think of materials that have not been commonly used before in sculpture.
Wow.
So that challenge took us to points where we had to start really thinking beyond
what you see. That's nice because, you know, a lot of times we do projects and some people just replicate the kind of projects they've already seen other people do, especially in things like this. But having to push you.
This time you had to think. You had to think on materials that have not been commonly used.
Okay.
And it gave birth to a whole lot of materials. We came up with a whole lot of materials.
Okay.
But for me, I sort of fell in love with spoons.
With spoons?
Because the forms of the spoons actually gives me pictures of the birds, which are most of my earlier works. You know, they are more of birds. And the choice of birds is because I personally have interest in birds.
Birds.
It's my totem animal.
Animal, okay.
Yes.
Well, what's your favorite bird?
I like the eagle.
We all would say
Anytime.
the eagle. I would say the eagle. Yeah, the eagle used to be my favorite. It's still my favorite. But then when I got to study about the phoenix, I also love the concept of the phoenix rising from the ashes. But just before we get to this bird, which is a masterpiece, by the way, let's talk about this. What do we have here?
This is actually part of a collection of my solo exhibition, which is coming up somewhere later within the year.
Okay.
And it's a figure that I call the Rapture.
The Rapture.
Yeah, which describes an evolving personality of people who are exposed to information. And I believe that the more exposed we are in life, the lighter we become.
The more exposed we are, the lighter
we become as people. The deeper understanding of life, the easier we respond to things around us. So that process of becoming lighter, to me, it's what I see as a form of rapture from the things that limit us as people.
You. So okay, so that's more like freedom. Okay. Right. Now why this artwork is interesting is because it doesn't have a framework.
Yes.
And I like this. So how did you get together to build this without a framework?
Well, one of the major process for me is the thought process.
Okay.
Where I had to think and plan out from scratch without anything on ground at first.
Okay.
Well, basically start from a single spoon on my work table.
Okay.
Well, the first one is laid down.
Where did that first one come in? Was that, of course, at the feet, right?
Yeah, it of course begins from the feet.
Okay. All right. And then from there,
it begins to build.
Would this ever be complete?
Yeah, of course.
And what would the complete image look like?
Yeah, from what you can see here, you have the down part, which is more of the lower
body,
part of a male figure.
Yeah.
While the upper region will have interplays of spoons.
Okay.
Of birds now.
Oh.
Of birds all coming through to about 6 feet.
6 feet. Wonderful. All right. So now let's get straight to this masterpiece here. What's the best way I can put it? So it is quite heavy.
This is great.
Okay. So let's see it this way. So this has a framework, right? Let's talk about this from inception, from the beginning. You had to put the framework first.
Yes. For this one, you have to build an armature, what we call the armature.
Okay, that's what we call the
we
armature.
call it the armature. It's a structural framework to the piece. It often determines the end of it.
The end, okay.
If the armature is wrong, just like the human skeleton.
True that.
If it's wrong, every other thing you put after will be wrong.
Will be wrong, okay.
So you have to make sure your armature is perfectly done because it often determines the end of what you're going to achieve.
Okay. Now, I know that basically you deal with heat because that's the only way you can get this. Yes, you can get this. You can make them malleable. The steel and the iron and all of that.
Right.
So how does that heat come? Is it by welding? How do you get the heat you need?
My works are joined together by welding.
Okay.
Each part of it is welded together. But what you can see from most part of it is you almost can't see any trace of the welding because it's, like I said, my work begins first from the thought pattern. The thought you have to plan out through. So from each layer, the newer layer covers the previous one, so you can't see.
Yes, that's quite true. That's quite true.
Yeah, so you see a perfect clean job being done. Yeah.
Now, I know now metal is susceptible to rust and all of that. Is it possible to ensure that maybe rust doesn't come into play? Is there anything that can be done?
Of course. When I'm done working, there is proper cleaning being done on it.
Okay.
I work with a lot of chemicals to help get good level of finishing.
Okay.
Then it's preserved. So it doesn't rust at all. I have pieces that are even outdoor made out of spoons that have been there for up to 5 years. Okay. And I've seen them over and over again and they're still as good as it was
so
made.
Where would the perfect place be to put such a masterpiece?
Yeah, your living room. Your living room, your lounge.
Good.
You know, any spot where it can draw attention to itself because it's a piece that you can't just hide away.
It is. How financially viable has this been for you?
As a practice, I'm a full-time artist.
Okay.
And I have a family.
Okay.
And I pay my bills.
All right.
So that tells a lot.
All right. Collins, this is wishing you the best, and I like this. Wishing you the best. And,
Thank you.
Yeah. See you at the top. Wonderful.
Right,
great one. I hope you were entertained and also you got to learn something about this different level of sculpting. Still Wake Up Nigeria. Don't go nowhere. We have a whole lot more on the show for you.
It's still the #1 breakfast show on TV right now. There's no other place would rather you were than right here watching us.
2 hours is gone, and this is the last lap of the marathon. But don't worry, we're going to be bringing you something special as we usually do. My name is Yomi Hope.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinso. Now, you've got it right. You're watching us on your TV right now, but that's not the only place you can see us. You can stream with us if you go to our website, that's tvcontinental.tv, and on Facebook at TVC Connect. Please send in your comments. Use our hashtag Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah, now the TVC app is also available, so you can download it on the Apple iStore and the Google Play Store as well. You can watch us from anywhere in the world. Very nice.
Yes, sir. Now we have a very special guest coming your way. Do you remember the Bling Lagosian movie we talked about?
Yeah.
Yesterday? Was it yesterday we talked about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, now she was apparently part of that movie. So hey, actress, singer, voiceover artist, comedian, Helen Paul is joining us for a chat very soon.
But there's something I'll talk about tomorrow. It's going to be part of movie news tomorrow. But Avengers is the studio, Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios. They have a plan. They are planning to beat Avatar's record.
Oh yeah, I saw that online.
As the #1 movie.
Yeah.
So they want to put together a re-release of Endgame. I mean, Avatar.
So an even longer version, like longer than the 3 hours.
Avatar has made $2.78 billion, and Avengers Endgame is just 42 million
yeah.
under it.
Yeah.
Now, Avatar also had a re-release, right? I'm not sure that re-release will come to Nigeria, but the point is that they are working towards, they want to get that #1 record.
But would you go back to watch it though?
Avatar?
Why not?
No, I'm not talking about Avatar. I'm
Oh,
talking
you mean
about
Avengers?
Endgame.
Definitely.
I would.
But I know the funny thing, they are all now under the same studio, Disney. Avatar has sequels planned for 2021 and then 2021, 2 years after that, up until Avatar 5.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, up until Avatar 5. That Cameron, that guy, he's just somehow.
Yeah.
You know? But then it's the same studio, healthy competition within the same studio. So Disney has acquired all of this.
Yeah.
They've acquired folks now. They have the X-Men also under them. Disney is
They're massive.
Yeah. Like the
Then
level.
I was hearing earlier in the year that they're going to start their own pay-to-air online platform, like Netflix and Amazon Prime. They're going to have their own. So they're removing all their movies and shows from Netflix.
Oh yeah, so they're going to be having
to put it on their own platform. And once they do that, what?
I don't
So,
know.
but I'm happy. That Avatar record. That girl was too proud. He had #1 and #2. Avatar and Titanic.
Yeah, so the beaten Titanic. Is not remaining.
So let them meet Avatar. Cameron was just too.
I haven't seen Avengers Endgame.
You don't have. You do. So if you don't see it, the movie will not be long out. The movie will still be. You don't have to see it.
I'm just letting you know that I have not
I'm sure
seen
you've, with all the
So you
spoilers,
should
you've
make
seen
extra efforts to make sure that I see it.
the new
Because
one.
you can't be on this couch and then be talking about Avengers Endgame every day and then no, I've not watched it.
Someone will just wake up in the morning. Me and Mike, we make efforts for them to see. Madam, you will see that game. You see that movie in 2030. You have not started.
It's worth watching, I can tell you that.
Just watch it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, maybe when it comes up on Blu-ray. When it comes up on
In
Blu-ray.
some cinemas, I think some cinemas are still showing it.
In Nigeria?
Yeah, in Nigeria, really.
I
know.
Nigeria,
Like
by this
afternoon
week.
showings.
No, by this week, they are all.
I know in Lekki they show it around midnight. So
So, but with
When-
this re-release, I don't know. I don't think it's coming to Nigeria because other previous movies that have been re-released, we don't get to see them here.
Yeah.
But let's hope that's something that will. see
again,
this
because
one.
usually why that happens is once movies have been scheduled, they're scheduled for the year. So you can't then break that
Break
schedule.
the schedule,
So even the
exactly.
re-release would be selected theaters.
Yes.
That's
What's the
what
prequel
they're
of
gonna
Game
do.
of Thrones about?
Oh, wow.
We'll talk about that some other
There's going to
time.
be a spin-off.
Because I'm
We'll
like,
talk about that some
why,
other time.
What? Why?
A
Why?
spin-off. A spin-off.
Why? Okay, why it?
Let's head over to
later.
the news update now.
And welcome back. Now, on Friday, the 28th of June, 2019, hundreds of people will convene at the podium in Lekki for Cultivate, a one-day conference with the aim of creating engines for growth, laying pipelines necessary for growth of human capital in Africa. Now, joining us to shed more light on this is Mofe Ade, a mind gem who for over 5 years now has been creating concepts that keep brands winning. Now, Mofeade is also the founder of Everything Na Art.
A partner.
Okay, a partner
Yes,
at Everything Na Art. So good to have you join us this morning.
Glad to be here.
This is an interesting conference. It's sort of like a conference like no other, but tell us about Cultivart.
Okay, so my partner and I, Amin, at Everything Na Art, believe that everybody in Nigeria should be enabled. We have the highest number of entrepreneurs and creatives, and we believe that we have the tools necessary for growth. However, we see that there's a knowledge gap between the people and their goal. So we've decided to bridge that gap, and for the past 1 year, we've taught 24,000 people online and offline with skills that can help them grow. However, we now decided that why don't we bring the playmakers, the industry thought leaders together and let them show people the ropes. Now, in most conferences, you just see people coming to the stage and teach people, right? However, in this conference, we noticed that people are used to that already. So after we have people that have actually built industries and companies, we now have close-knit interactive sessions where people can now have a 1 hour session with somebody where they teach them everything they need to know, all the details. So it's not just, you're just listening to someone
down
talk.
and listening,
No.
but you can provide immediate feedback.
Yes.
So I like the fact that you guys, when I was reading up about the conference, it talks about bridging the gap, not just or bringing people together in various industries that they don't quite look like they relate. So sort of like tech, art, music, community, art, culture, just bringing everything together and then seeing how all of these interrelate, especially in the 21st century. I thought that was quite remarkable.
Yes, thank you. So the reason basically is that we discovered that collaboration is the key to growth. People over here have the mentality that you need to stand on your own. However, why stand on your own when you have someone that is wonderful in this industry and someone that's wonderful in this industry? There are examples in film, in music, where we have artists coming together. Now, when we can pick people from different industry, by the time we merge together, we can all develop the future that we desire.
I like what you, one of the themes of the program that you said, creating engines for growth in Africa.
Yes.
And then now you're saying collaboration is the key to growth. Now, what are some of the engines that you guys are hoping to bring out of a conference like this?
Now, by the time you attend a conference, we want every attendee to leave with a blueprint. Now, just as you create an engine, you need a blueprint to create that engine. You need some rules to follow and everything. By the time you leave this conference, you should have solid points that will help you that will help you build your brand basically to whatever you want it.
Now, I like the name Cultivart because initially when I saw a billboard along the express, I was like, okay, Cultivart. I thought it was all about arts. The billboard, the colors, it just looked like it was something about painting or bringing artists together. That's what it looked like. And now that you really expanding my mind about this thing, and you're telling me that look, different people coming. I mean, when I even saw the list of speakers, I was quite impressed. I mean, Tokini Peterside, who's well known for ArtX, and Abayomi Awobokun, formerly of Owando, now Enyo. A bunch of other guys. I'm like, okay, this is quite impressive, and people from various sectors coming to really, really impact people. Now, what should attendees, because you've talked about a number of things, the fact that people are going to be able to give feedback, but what should attendees expect to get from Cultivart when they come?
The truth, the secret, not just banter, no motivational talk, actual doing. What do you need to succeed?
Practical steps.
Practical steps. We're not coming to waste your time at all. We want to give you everything you need. We want your briefcase to be full with knowledge.
Amazing, amazing. So, of course, so once people come to attend, they're going to then get the opportunity to be able to engage and not just sit there and swell their heads with you can do it.
Yes, no,
yes, we
nothing
can.
like that.
Yes, we can.
Like
kind of conversations. Now, this is Africa, and sometimes there are certain things that you can hear in conferences and seminars and master classes that are not actually applicable in real life. So should people attending this conference and probably also watching online expect to hear, you said the truth. Sometimes entrepreneurs might not tell you the whole story, because, sometimes you don't want to tell your secrets about how you succeeded. So when you talk about the truth, do I actually expect to hear what I can actually use for my life and my business.
Okay, awesome. Now, most everybody that will be on the panel and interactive sessions are leaders in the industry. Now, they also lead their companies. For instance, we have Farid, who is the founder, the owner, CEO of Workstation Nigeria, a creative space. He understands, for instance, how key collaboration is. My partner, Amin, is also always of the opinion that we don't want to hear what everybody hears. Now, when we talk about the truth, basically, we mean, for instance, what parts do I need to trade so that I won't waste more time? That is, for instance, the arrangement of a mentor. The essence of a mentor, basically, is for him to show you ways that you won't make mistakes, basically. Right. Now, if you can bring all those people and all those concepts together, we can see that definitely there will not be any banter, and it's the truth actually.
Now let's talk about lack of access. Okay, that's one of the challenges that we have in Africa. Lack of access to opportunities, access to even resources to do the things that you want to do to move your company forward. So you can start something, it's a great idea, but you just don't have the kind of boost that you would have gotten if you were maybe in Europe or in America or in the Western world and all of that. Are you hoping to be able to achieve access to resources and people from this conference?
Okay, we live in the best time ever. We have the internet, and with the internet comes knowledge. Now, when we started a year ago, we started online first. We started with WhatsApp classes and Instagram groups, but later we evolved to actual workshops. Now, the internet has given people access. Normally, people that you used to speak with before, they're just a DM away. Now, this access is necessary for you to convey your ideas. Now, during the conference, we're going to give them ways to maximize those channels, to have maximum access to the people that need to hear about their brand, their product, and their services. And also, we also have the ability of a tribe. We call ourselves a tribe because everybody has something that can help you. Now, once you ask somebody, that network, that close-knit community, by having somebody that can help you in your field is access itself. So by the time we merge all those moving parts together, you can have something that will propel you to the next stage in your career.
All right, so I'm liking everything that you're saying, but now from what we're hearing, there are no more tickets for this conference.
Yeah, it was sold out.
It's all sold out.
Yes.
But let's go over the details of where the conference is taking place, the date, and how else people can participate. So it's on Friday, June 28th, right? And it's at the Podium in Lekki. And then also, so what time does it start?
It starts by 10 a.m. Doors open 10 a.m.
Okay, doors open at 10 a.m.
Yes, we're having free headshot sessions for the first 100 people so that they can look professional.
Exactly, I like that. So tickets are no longer available, but how can I participate online?
You can still live stream, cultivar.com. The link is there right now.
Cultivar.com.
The Cultivate. Cultivate with the R, basically. So you can live stream from there and still participate in all the sessions. There will be somebody manning that so that you're not just watching, you can ask questions, people will respond to your questions, and you can also ask panelists right from your device.
Oh, wow. So that's excellent. So, I mean, people can also participate online and social media as well.
Yes, the Cultivats on all social media. The Cultivats.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And, congratulations. It looks like it's going to be a great conference.
Yes.
All right, so let's head over to the kitchen now where the ladies, everywhere is just, the aroma of that ofada. What's happening?
Wow, look at the energy Yomi used in calling my name, All right, so much been going on here in the kitchen. And of course, I'm here with Chef Ayola of AY Soaps, guys. She is blowing our minds, like literally, with this aroma coming from our fada sauce, which is
pretty much at the finishing stages.
Yeah. So what we've done here is, Ayola, over to you.
We've just, our pre-boiled meat, I cut it into smaller bites and I fried it in the palm oil that I'm using right now to make the sauce.
Okay.
And literally that's what we've done with the meat. You just fry your meat in the palm oil. And then when you take out your meat, what I did is I put the stock cube in my palm oil. But if you watch the show regularly and you've seen me here, you know that I do that a lot with my sauces. I always put the stock cube into the oil first.
Okay.
That way I don't have to worry about the Maggi overpowering, or sorry, the stock cube or seasoning cube overpowering the taste of what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
And that kind of gives the oil a bit of a fragrance before you put anything else into it.
Okay. So let's remind people what's in here so that, you know, they're just, okay, what's going on, what's going on?
Okay, they saw the blended peppers back before we blended them, right? But they didn't see the aspect of blending it.
Yeah.
So we just have all our peppers that we had in the pot at that point, which is our small green peppers, tatashe and onions. Quite a lot of
onions. I know. Lots and lots of it.
Yeah.
So I recently realized that the trick with using onions, like lots of onions, especially if, because it happened to me once where I used too much pepper.
Okay.
You know, I was making porridge. And then what I just did was just chop some onions like into really tiny pieces, and then I just put them in. So it actually really
soaks up.
Exactly. Took away all that pepper.
And it probably make it even more delicious.
And it made it more delicious.
Onions is like number one.
Exactly. So we're just going to wait for this to cook up, yeah?
Yeah, just to dry up a little bit. As you can see, I don't know if the viewers can see this, but what I did was I used something like this because I haven't got time to use a sieve. What I do, I then lift out.
Okay.
And then what you should get is this, and then I try to fry it, but I still might need to get a bit of water in there. Otherwise, this should not be there. This should be frying, but I can still see there's a bit of water, so I kind of have to wait
for that to dry.
To evaporate completely.
And then when that's ready,
we're tossing everything on that plate in at the same time.
Okay. Yes. Our crayfish, our shrimps, smoked prawns, and our locust beans, and then of course our chopped
that goes in at the finishing, like just at the before I take it off the heat. I'll put that in for like 5 minutes, and then we're ready. Hopefully, we'll be done in about 15 minutes.
All right. So there's another trick Ayola actually, you know, I learned from Ayola this morning with us. So before she before she added the
pepper,
our blended pepper into the palm oil mix, what she did was fry up our protein here. And she says basically it was to give the oil, you know, that
stock flavor, like a meaty flavor.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's how like you get the best of your
ofada
sauce.
Boom.
Yes.
There you go. Tip for the day.
Yeah. So earlier on we're talking about the nutritional benefits of ofada rice.
And you were so amazed. You're like, oh my God, this thing has so much.
So many benefits. And you know, a lot of us are on the weight loss journey, you know. But then we can't do without eating rice. So ofada rice is your go-to. Actually, if you know, on that weight loss journey, but you still want to, you know, eat rice, ofada rice is your go-to, of course.
And what I'm doing right now, sorry, is I'm essentially, because we're working with time, I want to make sure that everything kind of gets done at the same time. Because at this point, I don't have the luxury of waiting for it to dry up. So I'm just going to toss it all in now.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm just putting in my crayfish and my prawns.
What about locust beans?
Yes, I need to wash that. So once I'm done with this, I'll make this container available for us to rinse down. We'll chuck that in as well.
Okay.
So hopefully in the next 15-10 minutes, we're ready to serve.
Yes, food is almost ready, people.
It is.
Man, you need to, you know, perceive the aroma coming from this kitchen, people. It is to die for. We have to take a break now. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Oh my goodness, cracking us up already.
Yeah, indeed.
We have the one and only
Ellen Paul.
Oh my goodness, you went
I
there.
got it. Yes, I've been practicing for a while.
Yeah, she's a voiceover artist. She's an actress, presenter, comedian.
Yes, sir.
PhD holder. We just have to throw that in there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Dr. Helen Paul. And the crowd goes wild. Woo!
Good morning, Mommy and Daddy. Good morning, Auntie and Uncle. Good morning, friends. I'm here to defend the motion that my name is Ellen Paul. And I'm a actress.
Is this how you defended your PhD?
I'm defending my work. I'm a actress and I act in the Blink Lagosians.
Is that why you have so much bling on your fingers?
It's not easy.
Show them in the camera. Show them.
Ooh. Bling, 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 baby.
Before I became a doctor, I have one. When I became a doctor, I have one. And I did Blink Lagosians and I have another one.
It's always great to have you in the studio.
Thank you. Good morning.
All right. So much has happened since we saw last. Wow.
And it's just a few months.
As in it?
Just a few months ago. I mean, you didn't know you were even going to get this PhD. It was still dicey.
We were on strike, so I didn't know how we're going to be doing things in school. And suddenly, school resumes, and they're calling you to submit your papers, and you do.
Wow.
Very nice. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Congrats.
Congrats on the new film. It looks like you know, people are really ready, waiting for this film to come out.
We are also ready.
The Bling Lagosians.
Yes, the Bling Lagosians.
Tell us how how that went. You've been on the production set, and you know what the film generally we should be expecting from it.
Okay, because of my, of course, the training in theater, and when I was called to come for the reading, I was excited. I didn't see it from the point of movie at first. I just felt, okay, Bolanle Austin Peters is calling for a reading. That means it's going to be like
theater,
theater work and all of that. So I was very excited. So when I got there, I saw that, okay, movie, wow, great one. But the script, even by reading, is very exciting and educative. So I just felt, oh, I was part of this. And of course, when they called me back, I was really happy after the audition. And being on set with her, I saw something different in the sense that I never saw her as a director. Of course, I know she produces some stage plays, but her directorial skills was different. You know, no noise. When she wants to correct you, she just comes gently. That was a very nice one. But I think you should please, can you bring down the tone a bit? All right, so let's go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, in Nigeria, director is telling you, thank you, thank you. Nigeria director, cut, action. When else? No, don't do it like that. Bend down, almost die. Do this. Because as if I was shooting in US. You know, very, very interesting group of people, from the director to the crew, like the set guys, costumiers, everyone focused and was really nice.
Discipline, I hear, is BAP's thing. Discipline.
Discipline, but not forceful.
Okay.
Not forceful.
So, and now it's a lot of the time we've been hearing about the movie, we hear the 1% of the 1%.
1% of the 1% Lagosians.
So a lot of people were getting confused. What do they mean by 1%? What does that mean?
1%, yeah.
1% of the 1%.
From my own perspective, I just think, you know, some people are visitors, but when you give them the space, they end up thinking that they are owners of the land, you know. So, and the movie will also help you understand, from my own perspective too, that there's no way you should always have people you run back to. So a bit of culture, of course, telling us about the States, how it is, the real owners of the land. Plenty depth in this.
Plenty depth. So it's not just about, because when you see it initially, you just think, okay, this is just
a movie,
a celebration
aesthetics,
of, a celebration of wealth. But there's a lot of lessons to learn.
Lessons. Like there's a man called Oluwe in the movie, you know, lost everything, very wealthy, lost everything, but at the end had people he would run back to. Some of us, once we become rich, we forget the local people, as we call them. You don't run to grandmas again. You don't go to people for advice again. I'm forgetting that when you're coming down nothing.
Rock bottom.
Very hard. You're going to fall down hard. But in this movie, of course, I also learned that, wow. So that means sometimes just know that home will always be home.
So tell us about the role you played in this film.
I was Shaggy's girlfriend. I worked with the Oluwe. And I was looking for my salary. Outside, they buy expensive things, but inside, we are not being paid. And that happens. When workers are really trying their best to make sure they get their salary, their guy does not have money. We have many companies like that where they tell you, start small. When you start small, you're going to grow. Then the person who got to start business, collect loan. You that know that you collect loan, you now go and buy range.
Wow.
But you'll not be able to pay your staff, so the business cannot run again. You know, so me as the minor worker, I was one of the cook. They're not paying me and we're cooking, but she's buying lace.
Wow.
It's very painful.
Yeah.
Because as I just remembered, and I just looked at
You know, as much as we're making light of this issue, it's such a big issue. There was a particular bank today that put in the papers a list of
debtors.
Delinquent debtors is what they wrote. Delinquent.
That refuse to pay.
Serial debtors.
What name can you remember?
No. No, really? But when you think
Are
about
people owing you? Because the way you
I just want to know. You know, there's people you admire on Instagram. But they've not paid for yesterday's clothes.
Exactly. So that happens.
I would have loved to know their name. Hey, research.
Speaking of Instagram,
is your phone connected?
You have quite a following on Instagram.
She has over 1 million followers.
Yes, so Now, there are a lot of other comedians online. There are a lot of other women who have the body enhancements, the makeup all the time. Now, you're not one of those people.
So I'm not fine.
No,
I don't
have
have
those
the
people that
enhancements.
have put enhancements to make them fine.
So the makeup is not enhancement.
See,
don't insult me on your program.
Fine,
no,
but they don't have PhD.
No, PhD does not mean that. Excuse me.
It's not by fine.
Okay,
PhD is just by grace.
Should I step out of this interview because it looks like
okay.
Stop
really?
being
I don't
jealous.
want to separate.
How
No, wait.
African men don't talk too much.
Hang
Don't.
on, Edlin. You know, me and you will go way back. Let's not start opening.
See, that time I wanted to date you.
Wow.
You said I'm too low. Now I'm a doctor.
Wow.
You've seen me in Bleak Lagos. You see me in Bleak Lagos. Now to be my friend. Because I want to blow.
Oh my God.
Yomi, did you really just want to walk away? So, would you consider dating her now, you know, if you weren't married? By the way? Yeah. Would you,
No.
No longer interested.
Shaggy has more followers. And I want Shaggy.
Can you imagine?
No, but I really want to touch on this social media thing.
Okay.
So I know that a lot of people are using social media for change.
Yes.
How have you been able to, impact people with your social media?
Of course, I don't need to talk much. It's not, education doesn't necessarily have to be in a classroom. But from the things I post, sometimes motivational talks, sometimes questions for discussions, sometimes my lifestyle, you see. I might not really be doing the giveaways because even you don't know my pocket.
Wow.
So when some people come to me, please help this child. The child is dying of this. Helen, you are a brand. Do you know if my brand have shop? You don't know. So, like you said, true following. Jesus did not stand in front of me to tell me about the 10 Commandments. I'm researching, I'm reading, I'm finding out. I see pictures of him. So I want to consciously learn and follow that path. If you want to be successful, it's yourself for you to determine and say, yes, this is what you don't necessarily have to see the person, but from the way I do online, you choose the life you want. If you want Helen Paul's life or you want this person's kind of life, and you follow.
Very nice. I like it.
It's interesting, really. What sort of people do you follow online?
Okay, I have plenty of people I have different aspects of my life. Academically, I follow Duroni, Professor Duroni, Professor Ahmed Jerima, Professor Osita Ezewanibe, Professor Otun Rashid, Professor Cornell, So
the profs.
I follow them because I want to be.
Pros in that
I follow Wole Soyinka because if you look at my page, of course, you see that sometimes I post him. You understand? Academically. In times of marriage and career, I look at likes of Joke Silva, late Auntie Buki before. Sometimes I study some other people, not necessarily married, but they are modelly. Onyeka Onwenu and all of that.
Wow.
So, but in times of career, maybe, this person, almost the same age range, and she's doing well or he's doing well. Sometimes I look at Funke Akindele, sometimes I look at Mercy Johnson, I have people, so different careers, you have different aspects of your life. You can't follow one totally because everything is not the same. Then for TV presentation, sincerely, for TV presentation and radio presentation. For radio, I used to follow Titi. And later I started following for TV. I still follow Helen DeGeneres. No, but serious. I'm not following Helen. I'm not following Whoopi Goldberg because, Whoopi is just an actress.
Yeah.
I'm following Whoopi because the kind of films she does or the characters she plays are the things I really want to do. Queen Latifah.
We need you to follow us to the kitchen quickly. If not, we are not eating.
You ask me questions, I will finish on today. So as I was saying, let's go. So hope there's no traffic there. So as I was saying, my dear, you see, there are people that you follow.
Yeah.
And when you are following them, wow.
They give you food.
In terms of food, I follow Ketra.
Please take a seat.
Welcome to the kitchen.
Thank you.
Wow.
The chair is tall.
No, it's tall. Don't worry.
Okay, so this is Chef Ayola of AY Sobs. And this morning she's made ofada rice, and you like ofada rice. I can tell that you love it.
As in, my stomach is actually rumbling. I can hear it.
So Ayola, quickly tell us how you made our sauce. That sauce looks really good, by the way. I hope it tastes good.
Oh, it has to.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry.
Cutlery. Yeah. So what's this one doing? You forgot to grind the pepper.
Cherry tomatoes.
Don't worry about it. Those are cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, just for garnishing and a bit of healthiness in there. As soon as I didn't know the whole palm oil shenanigans or whatnot.
My food is shenanigans.
Please it's good shenanigans. It's good shenanigans.
Chicken in our own fada sauce.
Okay, so while she's having a taste, we have to say a big thank you to our friends at Homely NG for all these amazing kitchen accessories.
Yeah, big thank you to all our guests for joining us on the show today.
Yes.
Thank you, all of you, but this food will not be enough.
What do you think? It's not too spicy. Everybody likes spice. Do you like spice? It's because I know it's got a bit of a kick, so.
Hey, see, Chef, they speak English.
Helen, when is
Blink? I should probably start speaking Pidgin then. Only kick there.
Blink Negotiations is going to be in all cinemas June 28th. Make it a date. Wow. I will be in Ozone, so all of you. Let's meet.
All right. We'll
Blink Negotiations.
All right, we're back tomorrow for the Friday edition of the show.
6 a.m. people.
6 a.m.
Have a great day, y'all. Bye.